The bad news, friends, is that it's our job as writers, I'm afraid, to set your characters up with these impossible choices and then force them to make them. It makes for a good story. You may feel like a sadist, but, well, unfortunately, that's what it takes to be a good writer. Now, on the face of it, when Vi blames Powder for the deaths of Vander, Chaga, and Milo, Vi truly does inherit all of Vander's moral failings. Just as Vander has betrayed Silco, Vi goes and betrays Powder. We even have that image of Vi holding Powder by the chin and the neck, reminiscent of Vander holding Silco by the neck. And then it's when Powder's blood from her nose after Vi has hit her spills on Vi's hands, just like Silco's blood trickled onto Vander as Vander tried to kill his own figurative brother. So we've observed this before, and this abandonment and betrayal that Vi does towards Powder, leaving her in the street, this leads Silco to identify powerfully with Powder. Vander's betrayal of innocence creates Silco. Vi's betrayal of innocence creates Jinx. We've seen this and talked about this in previous videos, but I want to take a step further to emphasize something else here. Not only do we see the degradation of innocence as the worst sin in the Arcane universe, but innocence degraded will push back. More of that when we get into the final character, whom I know you're all waiting for, Jinx. But regarding Vi, we still need to consider everyone is guilty here, except maybe Powder, although she goes on to cause her own, massive amounts of damage. But that's a tragedy of Arcane. Those at the top, insulated by privilege and Piltover, keep kicking the consequences downhill. Yet at any point, people could opt out and try to break this cycle. Vander tries, but is morally compromised by his betrayal of Silco. Vi tries, but breaks under the weight of her trauma, being a victim, witness to, and perpetrator of violence. And while I know I've given some teases about talking about Jinx, and we're all eager to talk about who is really the most significant character in Season 1 of Arcane, before we get to her, we have one last character to consider. We need to examine the moral perspective, the choices of one character who successfully does find a different way, who with some success does step out of the cycle. And I'm talking about Echo. So for now, keep reading, keep writing, because your voices matter.